This is a demo of a basic executor. This example is located in the Hazelcast code samples repository on GitHub. If you look over here in the list, you can see that there are a number of different examples of executors. There's durable executor, there's the scheduled executor, there's examples of how you can specify specific members to execute on as opposed to the entire cluster. So if you're looking at executors, this entire library is a great place to start to get example code. So the link is there on your screen. Make sure that you take a look at that if executors are something you're investigating. But we're just going to look at the basic executor right now. We'll look at the main application first. Now this is running in embedded mode, not as a client. Although this could easily be a client that's then pushing the executor to a running cluster. In this case, the application is what starts the cluster. The executor is still separate code that's loaded in the running cluster by this application when it invokes the executor. So that's what we're going to see happen. We are invoking the executor service and calling it executor. Then we're going to produce a task that invokes the executor. So what we're going to see on our screen is the master member is saying we're producing an echo task, and then we're just going to number it. So task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. We're then submitting that information to the executor to do something with. And we'll look at the executor in a second. When the master member is finished doing its work, it's done. Then we're going to see that the executor is still running independently of the master member doing its job. At the very end, we're going to also submit an additional final operation to the executor. So what does the executor itself look like? Very simple. This is again, you have to implement this as serializable because we're pushing this code into the cluster. This is not running locally on our client. This is running in the cluster. We get an instruction, we sleep for 5,000 milliseconds, and then we push the message back. So we're sending a number to the executor, and the executor is just going to send it back to us. It's a very simple echo process. So when I run this master member, we see it start its Hazelcast instance and producing echo task 1, 2, 3. So this is the master now producing those echoes. And now we're starting to get back the response from the executor. So echo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Master member has finished doing its submissions, and the executor continued to run independently. So that's just showing you that this invocation of the executor continues to run even when the code that invoked it is done and is moved on to some other operation. So that's a very simple example of executor. And again, if this is something that you're looking at implementing, I encourage you to pull down this repo and take a look at all the different examples that are available for implementing executors.